Hey Jess, so welcome back to the Leadership Series. So we're going to talk about auctions today. So as a principal, why would I choose auctions over a private sale?
A really good question, and inside our program we have lots of processes and systems around auctions, and I think as a leader why you choose auctions is that firstly I think it allows, once you understand the training system and how auctions should be done, it actually allows your team members to really be more accountable to the whole process of a sale. I think what happens traditionally with private treaties, especially in softening markets, that we list a private treaty for sale or private sale, the signboard goes up, it goes on the internet, and the agents can just go home to bed when the campaign's not progressing that well, put their head on the pillow at night, and there's no real recourse. But if there's an auction date in line of that vendor and you know there's a date coming up in 2 weeks' time, it actually forces everyone to do the work. And that's why I've always loved auctions back in my business. So inside our program, one of our trainings we call the bidder magnet is about helping businesses understand the psychology and the system of an auction and how it can actually drive, which is my experience, considerable growth in your business when you've got a marketplace that doesn't do a lot of auctions.
Yeah, right. And so who are some of these agencies that are doing auctions really well?
Well, agencies traditionally that I see and people we work with, and I challenge people on this to say, if you're in a marketplace that doesn't do a lot of auctions, is to go down a path of doing auctions. And traditionally, like when days on market start to get high, as I mentioned earlier, those businesses who can challenge themselves and to go down the path of auctions, in my experience, grow market share really, really quickly through that time because they can control their listings better, they control their sales more, they can control their team activities better. So there's multitudes of examples that I've seen businesses who drive considerable growth through changing their model up of how they choose to sell property.
And for a principal that's thinking of introducing auctions into their business, it might not have otherwise, tell us a little bit about what the role of an auctioneer actually is.
The auctioneer for me, and people might have watched this right now and think of the auctioneer plays a big role in an auction, and it's my belief that an auctioneer plays a very minimal role in our overall auction process. And I say all the time to people when I'm training them that if you understand the systems of auctions and what's got to be done from day one right through to the actual auction day, my 15-year-old son could probably get up and call an auction because the work's done beforehand. And I always have saying to my team members, and I say this in our program to people, that if you run a good systematic auction process and follow the training we teach, I have a saying to say that we should be playing golf the day before the auction. So I always say to an agent who learns our craft, are you playing golf the day before the auction or you're not? And they'll understand exactly what we mean. And what that really entails is doing the work to be able to make sure by the time we get to auction, the vendor is ready to accept the market price, number one. And number two, we've got bidders who are galvanised to the process, are going to turn up on auction day and actually put their hand up, not just tell you they're going to put their hand up and not turn up and do that. The system we teach is making sure those two things come together and then they can go out and play golf.
That sounds very cool. I think every real estate agent I know should actually introduce auctions into their business. Finally, give me a bit of a summation as to why it's such a powerful tool.
Well, it's such a powerful tool and I believe in the process greatly, and I know a lot of businesses who probably haven't gone down this path or are a bit more closed up to it. But again, I remember when we went from a stage in our business years ago of doing 10 auctions a year to over 100 in the space of 12 months. It was a massive increase. That's when we grew the quickest market share. But again, it was making sure we understood the system, and what it did was it just controlled our days on market, controlled our clearance, and ultimately I say to people out there who'll bit on the fence with it, because everyone's going to be a little bit different with it, is invest into learning the system first, of understanding the psychology of how to work with buyers and vendors. And once you can get that part right, auctions for me becomes such an exciting thing for you to do in your business, because it's almost like helping you control your own destiny if you understand the cycle of getting bidders to auction and actually having good clearance rate under the hammer.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Yes.